How do you actually find the companies for the calls? That's very important, right? Well, look, let's do this. Let's go on Indeed. I want you guys to go on Google, Indeed. Let's put this in right now. We've gone on Indeed. We're going through and we're going to type in, hardware engineer, right? We've typed in hardware engineer. Now we're looking at all these companies and they're looking for people, and we're going to go up and down and we're going to see, well, look, there is a company that is looking for someone right now. So what might make total sense to you guys is, let's pick up the phone and call this company and say that you need a hardware engineer. Can I find you a hardware engineer, right? That is actually what a lot of people do. And that is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. And this is what I mean by having the knowledge and having the information is crucial to understanding and making sure you start your recruitment company correctly and you actually make your money, right? People who don't know, this is exactly how you're going to build your list. You're going to say, well, why don't I just go on a company's page, careers page, they're looking for X and X and X and X, and go on Indeed, and a company is looking for X and X and X and X. I'll just call them and I'll just say, I'll find that person for you. Completely wrong. Biggest mistake. You will struggle so badly to make money. And let me explain why. Because this company is already 2, 3 months or 4 months down the process of finding the person that they are looking for. You see, because usually what happens is the HR manager or someone will have a conversation in the meeting room and, they'll say, oh, we need X and X, and they'll discuss it amongst their team, and then they'll go back and then someone will write up a job description, and someone will have a conversation with the recruitment companies, and they'll pick up, and we need this and we need this, and then they'll write a job description, then they'll upload it, and then the recruitment companies go out and start looking for people, and then the adverts out as well. So it's already probably been minimum 1 week before you pick up the phone to this company and say that, oh, I can find you someone. 1 week, by the way, is a lot of time for you to find someone. A lot of times, I tell people I can find you people in 24, 48 hours. 24, 48 hours, right? So you're 1 week late picking up the phone to this company. That's the worst way you can make a list on how to, when you are calling or contacting company, that's the worst way you can make a list on companies to contact. The worst way. Because again, you want to be in a point where you are in conversation with a company and you continuously ask them on a monthly basis, and they say something along the lines of, we don't need anyone right now, but in 2 weeks, we're going to need this. And they give you the lowdown and they say, we will need this. And then in 1 week, you call them and you say, oh yeah, we do need that. It's yet been discussed, but I think we'll have confirmation by tomorrow. Well, guess what? That is exactly where you're going to make money. You got first digs before anyone else did, and that's how we do recruitment. That's how you will make sure and guarantee yourself making money. Time kills all deals, and that's something you have to understand. But I know you guys are going to be watching this video saying, well, that's fine. We're going to get business. We're going to get clients. We're going to get companies, and we will get people. But how do we find candidates? You find candidates by going on job boards. In essence, job boards are websites where people apply for jobs. And when they apply for jobs with their CVs, that company saves your CV and then shares it with recruiters. It's a job board. Job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, there are various ways that we find candidates. And there are terms that we have to put in to make sure that we get the right candidate and finding the right engineers and so on and so on. There is an art to it, to be honest, in making sure you find the right candidate. Otherwise, you don't, you're sort of, a headless chicken running around and you don't really know what you're doing. But job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed are the way you get candidates. There's a whole art to this because, for me, when I speak to candidates, not only am I trying to find candidates a job, not only am I trying to put them in that position, I need to make sure, is this candidate going to be good for this company? I need to make sure, is this candidate actually going to turn up for the interview and turn up for the second? Is he serious? I mean, how many of you guys have, taken an interview, but you were never going to accept the job? Right? It happens. How do you make sure? What sort of questions do you need to ask? These are important things that you have to ask. And it's just extremely difficult for me to go over it all.